This is Horde Chief, back with a special double feature episode. Alright, we went up against a clan I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name. It was a really close war, but we didn't quite grab it. There was a couple of clutch attacks right at the end that almost clinched the win, but we didn't quite get it. Nevertheless, it was a good war. Alright, first thing we're going to do is go down here to number 6. Awesome attacked with a Govaho. Alright, first thing. Gonna come up north with a Gowie. Trying to get the heroes, the CC, using a rage and a jump. Then gonna come in with some Valks, try and set off some double giant bombs. That way you can put in some hogs, get the rest of the defenses that the Valks and the Gowie couldn't get to. Gonna use 2 hills on those guys. And actually ends up forgetting his poisons, but didn't need them. So we'll go ahead and start this fight. Like I said, comes in up north with the Gowie. There's a bunch of Teslas up here. Gonna throw in the CC Golem and his Golem. Setting off all these Teslas. Gonna try and create a pretty wide funnel. There's a bunch of high HP buildings up here to get rid of. Be able to work that Gowie into the section of where these heroes are. Also gonna be able to grab an X-bow with that. And plus pull CC. Normally we try and pull CC and get it killed with using Valks, but the Valks were really only to pull a set of double giant bombs, like I said. Getting in here, like I said, he forgets the poison on this CC that has the queen and the rage, drops the CC, puts in the Valks, has them kind of circle, a few Valks kind of get away from him, but works their way into the center, gets that double giant bomb pulled, throws in the hogs, gets the heal on top of the bomber tower and the wizard tower. Really great help, and is gonna throw in a heal once they get to this X-bow, right where a double giant bomb is. So saves all those hogs, gets them through to the wizard tower, and all he's got really left is archer tower, 2 cannons to worry about. Has enough hogs to power through. They're focused on the Valks that are left, and it's already on the cleanup. So really great attack by Awesome. We had a double base in this war. It kind of suits the double feature. Their number 5 was the exact same base as this number 6, just opposite. They had it flipped off north to south. Getting this cleanup done. Like I said, has Valks, hogs, ripping through the rest of this base. Alright, so moving on to number 5. We've got Commander hitting this base. Alright, this is a fairly complicated attack. Gonna use a Gowie over on this northeast side. Trying to get to these 2 ADs and pull CC, get it killed. They're going to use 2 dragons down here on the south side. Trying to grab this queen. Make sure that she's down. So the lava loon that she's going to use over here on the west side will be okay to kind of follow through and get the rest of these defenses down. Suicide drags is what we call it. Using 2 drags and a rage to get rid of some heroes, and a lot of the times if you can get it in a place to where there's not many defenses for air, the drags actually become really good cleanup troops. So we'll go ahead and start this fight. Starts in with the CC Golem. Gonna create a pretty good funnel. Misses the pull on that archer tower with the golem. He kind of walked astray, but doubled up on the wizards, so I was able to get that funnel. Putting the heroes in behind the golem. So we're going to be a really late CC pull, so she's holding the rage for a little later. As soon as they take this jump, that rage is going to drop in. And as soon as that CC's pull, we're going to drop that poison, trying to make it to where they lead into it. The king kind of got ahead, so the poison kind of missed. Gonna go ahead, drop in these drags down here, throw in the rage. Knew we had some Teslas that were gonna pop, so went ahead and threw in 4 balloons for those. Kind of saved those drags. But as you see, the drags went straight aggro on that queen, took her out. Gonna use the lava loon on the west side for really the rest of the defenses. Gonna go for those ADs first, just simply because you're using loons, you want to get those down fairly quickly. Having a tough time getting to this X-bow down here. Has the queen coming in, but it's too many spaces away. Gonna use the haste right there, power these balloons through to that AD. Gonna come down here, the lava loon's still tanking. So gonna be able to pull that X-bow till these loons can get down here and get it dealt with. Adds to the cleanup troops. Like I said, you gotta drag the queen, the pups down here. Has a skelly trap air pop on these balloons. I'm not sure if these balloons weren't able to get this X-bow down just by the hair of their chin, that this attack would have made it. But got it down to just the 1 Tesla left. Has the queen, the pups, the drag. That's plenty of cleanup troops to get through to get to that Tesla without any real problem. Using that suicide drag really helps. I mean, taking out the heroes is a key factor in using a lava loon. And if you can't quite get it with the go-wee, because you're normally aiming for 2 air defenses with a go-wee to bring in the lava loon on the back end, then suicide drags is a perfect kind of answer to the heroes that are, you know, out astray. Certainly if they're away from the air defenses. But great attack by Commander. And also, to go with the theme of this double feature episode, we're going to have a double feature for Commander. She stepped up all the way to number 2. First look at this base, you would not think hogs. But we had 2 fails on this base with our 1 and 2. Tried to use a go-wee lava loon. The go-wee kept going astray. The main, you know, you get your bowlers and your king and queen and stuff trying to come in and get 2 of these ADs, but they kept circling, missing the ADs, so the lava loon was a fail on the back end. She watched both attacks, saw that the skelly traps were air, so she knows that she's not going to have to use any poison for skelly traps with these hogs coming in. She's going to step in, use a go-wee on this east side, namely to get to the queen, to pull a CC, get it killed, and can use both of these poisons on that CC and the heroes, which is huge. Stopping their DPS or slowing it down and, you know, hurting them at the same time. Using a go-ho, like I said a couple of times, the key things to look for is to make sure that these point defenses are pretty close to the outside, and if they aren't, you know, no gaps in between them. Go ahead and start this attack. Gonna send the golem in first, pulling everything she needs to be able to get a pretty wide funnel. Make sure that queen goes in. I think her queen actually goes astray, but tries her best. Gets everything cut away from the outside. Gonna throw the king in, queen in. Again, it's a late CC pull, so kind of holding that rage. Getting the jump in there so the king can jump straight in, take out that queen. Dropping both poisons for this drag and loon. As you see right there, the queen kind of stepped out. The CC aren't down, but has to go ahead with the hogs due to time. Putting 4 hogs on each of these defenses. Knowing there's a giant bomb from our goees on the scouts. Puts a heal right there. Dropping in 8 on this cannon, 8 on this archer tower to lead in through to the next point defenses. And is going to take a gamble and throw the heal right here in between this AD and the archer tower. And guesses were correct. Double giant bomb. Saves all those hogs. Able to power through. Hogs are getting really weak, but with just a mortar and a Tesla left to hit these guys, really no chance of this base standing. That king is just hanging on by a thread. Hogs go straight for him. Start cleaning up the center of the base, taking out the town hall, the hero pads, and the CC. Queen, wizards, archers, all gonna circle this base to clean up the rest of it and totally annihilate this base. Really good trip by Commander. Really good 6-pack this war. Really stepped up. Like I said, almost got the win. This was the second to the last attack, so had us all pumped up thinking we were going to get the win. But nevertheless, it was a really good war, and we had some really good attacks. Part of this episode is going to be, really dealing with different parts of a base, using different parts of an attack to get through that part of the base. Using suicide drags to kill heroes, using goees to get CC down, and ADs, or even heroes in a lot of these fights. And then, a lot of times you're using hogs, loons, to take out defenses. So once the defenses are down, you're pretty much just on cleanup. Nothing to worry about, but maybe some traps here and there. Really want to plan when it comes to attacks. Using the same attack on every base isn't always going to work. You really want to look at these bases. If you can have a scout, somebody stepping up from the bottom just to show where traps are, just to show, how certain things are going to work, like using a golem in a certain spot if it's going to attach to the part of the wall that you want to pull all the defenses so you can get a good funnel. A lot of thinking comes in to beating bases. Really don't want to just use the same attack on every single base. Sometimes it works, but in our experience, a lot of times it doesn't. But that was War with a Horde, our special double feature episode.